Welcome to my top 5 roller coasters. If you see Minecraft in the background, it's because I have nothing else to put in the background. So, number 5, Colossus at Fort Park. I know you're all going to be like, why? Why? It's just because, I absolutely love Colossus. It is painful, but I know how to stop the pain on it. By squeezing your head into the restraint. It's very odd, but at least it works. Because it's just a nice ride. The reason why I like it are those hotline rolls. It isn't intense. It's tame, way more tame than my number 4. I meant my number 6. That is Dragon's Fury. But that's so intense. But why Colossus here? Because I've not ridden many roller coasters. I've never ridden the Smiler, so it's the most inversions on a ride I've ridden. And I've also never ridden Sick at Flamingo Land. My first ride on it was not painful at all. I didn't have to brace myself for any elements. And it was just fun. But it moved down a spot after my really uncomfortable ride on it. And my number 4 is Mandrill Mayhem at Chessington World of Adventures. Now, Mandrill Mayhem, it's a very weird ride. And I mean weird. You start off with a backwards launch into a twisted drop thingy into half the loop, and then you launch forwards into a really forceful turn, into a really nice hang time filled loop. I meant barrel roll, 0G roll, corkscrew, whatever that is. It was my second non-family roller coaster. My first being Icon at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Mandrill Mayhem. It's intense. I've really only ridden it with my friends. Because I go to Chessington with my friends a lot. It's my favourite ride at the park. By a very long way. I don't know how Dragon's Fury would even go anywhere close to it. Dragon's Fury, not as good as Mandrill Mayhem. Mandrill's is not even the most intense ride at the park. That's Sea Dragons. That was just a joke. My number 3. This is a big step up from Mandrill Mayhem. Nemesis Inferno at Fort Park. It's my second favourite ride at Fort Park. I rode it very late in the day. And I love it. Most of it's kind of tame, but the intense bits are intense. That, I wouldn't say the loop is intense. I would say the 0G rolls and the corkscrews are really whippy, but the loop, it's just a weird feeling that I love. It's just a good ride. I like how, if you look at the station building from one angle, it's a warehouse. It's just funny. And I really enjoy Nemesis Inferno. It's the only B&M invert I've ridden. One of only 3 B&Ms I've ridden. The other B&M I've ridden is another Thorpe Park one. And Nemesis Inferno, well, I've never heard the soundtrack. I know Colossus has a good soundtrack, though. But Nemesis Inferno, really good ride. I'd give it a 10 out of 10. Same with Mandrill Mayhem, but I'd give Colossus a 9 3/4. So, my number 2. The Swarm at Thorpe Park. Definitely Swarm. Like, Swarm. You can't go wrong with a ride on Swarm. It is so good. Nemesis Inferno was actually my number 2 ride in the world for like 5 minutes until I rode Swarm. Maybe not 5 minutes, like an hour. And I'm still used to saying Nemesis Inferno is my number 2, but Swarm just knocked Nemesis Inferno out of its place. And I love Swarm. Like, as an experience, the theming I would actually say Swarm Island is my favourite area because of the amount of theming. But I wouldn't say the near misses are that good. I know that's probably a very controversial opinion, though. I think my best near miss is on Runaway Mine Train because, there's like no clearance on that ride. But I would definitely say Swarm has a really intense inline twist. Isn't the most intense inline twist it's the only one I've experienced, but it's not the most intense moment on the ride that I would put to the corkscrew, which it's not really the most intense ride, but it's a fun ride. I rode it twice towards the end of the day, and I wish I could have ridden it more times. It was such an experience. And my number 1. Luckily, this one's not at Thorpe Park. This one is at Blackpool Pleasure Beach Icon. Oh, where do I get started with this ride? It is, like, for me, the highlight of it is the airtime on the double down. If it's a double down before the second launch, or there's this tiny little airtime hill that, like, gives, like, the most madness ejectiles I've ever experienced. The top hat gives some nice floater-ish, ejector-ish airtime that's quite nice. And also the inversion. The inversion's alright. The launches are fine. But the ride, I'd say 10 out of 10. Same with Swarm. I want to give them both 11s, but Icon. I also have a review of it where I said where Spinball Wizards would be dethroned from my number 1, but that was like, I actually filmed that one at Blackpool Pleasure Beach in the hotel. But Blackpool Pleasure Beach alone is an amazing park. I'd say that Icon is the only reason why I want to go there. But Blackpool Pleasure, the Icon, like, it also has some nice whip airtime-ish on, like, the S-bends on the ride. And the outer bank, I was like, it's an outer bank, that's nice. It didn't really feel like anything, though. it was like, but it was nice to see how we were just, how I was just banking outwards, and it was like, I was like, what? It's a really nice ride, and that finishes it for my top 5 roller coasters. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.